All right, so this has got to be the ultimate proof that boxing, or at least the rankings in boxing, are corrupted because Daniel, Daniel right here, he's ranked as the number two in the number two spot in the WBO heavyweight rankings. Now, I like Daniel as a fighter. I think Daniel is a good prospect. I think that Daniel has potential to possibly do something in the heavyweight division. And I like the fact that he is willing to go out there and fight everyone. You know, I've never seen him say that, "Oh, I'm not ready. I don't think I could beat this guy. I don't think I could beat this guy." You know, like a lot of prospects say. He seems confident, right? I see him saying stuff like, "I want to fight Dillian White. I want to fight Anthony Joshua. I want to fight Tyson Fury." He wants to fight everyone. So I respect that, and I like that about Daniel. But this is very strange to me. So Daniel has not fought anyone, right? If you actually take the time to look on his resume, he's fought nothing but extremely low quality opponents, right? He's fought nothing but bums. Yet somehow, I mean, his last fight was atrocious. The guy he fought in his last fight, that little tune-up fight, was atrocious. And a lot of the guys he fights are in that type of level. But so that's the quality of opponents that he's fought so far, right? No names, nobody ranked. Just low quality nobodies. But somehow, this guy is in the second spot in the WBO rankings, as if he worked his way to that level. You know, I was always under the impression that if you wanted to get yourself up in the rankings in a organization, whether it's the WBO, whether it's the WBA, whether it's the WBC, whether it's the IBF, I was always under the impression that you had to work your way to the number one spot, right? In order to challenge the heavyweight champion of that ranking, you, or the champion of that division, you have to work your way up the rankings by beating the guys who are, you know, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6. So if you're like number 80, you have to fight the guy who's like number 65. If you beat him, then you fight the guy, I don't know, number 50. And you'll keep doing this until eventually you find yourself as the number 5th guy in that ranking. And then you fight the number, 3, 4, until eventually you beat the number 1 guy. And then you become the mandatory, right? So this guy, Daniel, has not done that, right? He has not done that. He literally just leapfrogged Joseph Parker, Kuret Pulev, Andy Ruiz, Junior Fa, Michael Hunter, Derek Chisora, Joe Joyce, all these dudes in the WBO rankings. How does a guy not fight none of these guys? Like, Daniel Dubois has not fought none of these guys in the top 15 of the WBO rankings. Yet he somehow managed to be ranked number 2. He managed to get the number 2 spot. How do you not fight a single guy in the top 15 rankings, yet you managed to get the second place spot, so close to the mandatory position to face the champion who has the WBO belt, which is Anthony Joshua? That's what I don't understand. That's why I say boxing is corrupted, because it's as if somebody just picked them. Like, they plucked Daniel, because this guy should really be ranked like top 100. Although I think he has potential, he has not fought anyone in the top 50. So he should be really ranked in the top 100. So it's as if somebody just picked Daniel, plucked him from the top 100 heavyweight rankings, and just threw him in the number 2 spot in the WBO rankings because they want him to get a title shot. It's almost like that's what happened. Because Daniel, as much as I like him, he did not earn that position. He did not earn the right to be the second ranked guy right behind Alexander Usyk. I mean, just look at Alexander Usyk. Look at the quality of opponents that Alexander Usyk has fought. So, and you compare it to Daniel, it's night and day. Even Joseph Parker, look at the quality of guys Joseph Parker's fought. Andy Ruiz has fought better opposition than Daniel. So I can make a case as to why they are in that position, in that spot in the rankings. But when it comes to Daniel, what has he done? Michael Hunter should be ranked higher than Daniel in the WBO rankings, because Michael Hunter has been in there with guys like Alexander Povetkin. Alexander Povetkin, buddy, He's been in there with guys like that. So Michael Hunter should be ranked higher. This guy, Daniel, should not be ranked in the top 15 of the WBO rankings at all because he hasn't even fought one guy in the top 15. It would be different. I would be singing a different tune if he were to fight somebody in the top. Like say he fought Derek Chisora and destroyed him, or even Michael Hunter or Andy Ruiz, and then they put him in the top 5 of the WBO rankings. Then I could understand that. I could be like, okay, he beat this guy who was ranked number 5th, number 6 in the WBO ranking, but he hasn't done that. So this is what I'm saying. To me, this is 100% proof that boxing is corrupted, because how does a guy fight nothing but bums, fights nobody in the top 15, fights nobody in the top 50, doesn't even fight anybody in the top 100 in the heavyweight rankings, and yet somehow he makes it to the to the second spot. So does this mean that he's going to be the number 1 spot after Alexander Povetkin? After Alexander Usyk, if Alexander Usyk wins or loses against Anthony Joshua, that means that Daniel will become the number 1 guy in the rankings. So he would be next in line to challenge Anthony Joshua without doing anything, without proving yourself. That is corruption. Like I said, he's a young guy. Why don't you just let him face the guys in the top 15, face a top 50 heavyweight? Let's see how he goes. No, it almost seems like they're rushing this guy. It's like, you know what? We don't want to see him fight the top 15 guys. We just want to see him fight the champion, Anthony Joshua, because we feel he could beat him possibly and become a heavyweight champion at 23 years old. So it feels like they're trying to rush him. They're just plucking him in, throwing him in there without him earning it, and they're trying to rush him. And that might just backfire. He might just get knocked the fuck out cold because he wasn't properly built up. I think right now he's being properly built up. I like the fact that he's fighting Joe Joyce. But you can't just go from Joe Joyce to fighting an Anthony Joshua or to fighting a Deontay Wilder. You have to work your way up. And especially when it comes to the earning privileges, right? He has not earned a title shot. Daniel has not earned a title shot at all. Anyone with common sense, anyone with a brain would probably agree with me, right? Daniel has not deserved no title shot. How can he just leapfrog all these guys in that WBO rankings when he hasn't even fought? Not only has he not fought them, but he hasn't fought none of the opposition that those guys have fought. Some of these guys fought legit competition. He hasn't. Boxing is corrupted, guys. Corrupted.